Hello everyone, I am Ummi Hani. I welcome back to my YouTube channel. I belong to Department of CSE Artificial Intelligence studying in Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering, 3rd SEM. So topic for today is overloading methods. Introduction to overloading method for today. Methods overloading in programming allows multiple methods within the same class to have the same name but different parameters. Overloaded methods provide flexibility and improve code readability. The compiler determines which method to call based on the number and type of arguments passed. As we can look into the example mentioned in the picture, without method overloading, with method overloading. Benefits of overloading methods. Overloading methods simplify code maintenance by reducing the number of method names. It promotes code reusability as multiple methods can share the same name. Overloaded methods enhance code organization and make it easier for developers to understand the logic. And in Java, it is possible to define two or more methods with the same class that share the same name, as long as the parameter declarations are different. When this is the case, the methods are said to be overloaded and the process is referred to as method overloading. Method overloading is one of the ways that Java implements polymorphism. When an overloaded method is invoked, Java uses the type and or number of arguments as its guide to determine which version of the overloaded method to actually call. Overloaded methods must differ in the type and or number of their parameters. While overloaded methods may have different return types, the return type alone is insufficient to distinguish between two versions of a method. When overloading in Java encounters a call to an overloaded method, it simply executes the version of the method whose parameter match the arguments used in the call. Rules for overloading methods. In Java, it is possible to define two or more methods within the same class. When this is the case, the methods are used to be overloaded or said to be overloaded and the process is referred to as method overloading. Overloaded methods must differ in the type and or number of their parameters. When Java encounters a call to an overloaded method, it simply executes the version of the method whose parameters match the arguments used in the call. Overloaded methods must differ in the number or type of parameters. Return type alone is not sufficient to differentiate overloaded methods. Methods can be overloaded in the same class or in subclasses. Example of overloading method. In a class named calculator, you can have multiple add methods with different parameter list like add int a comma int b and add double a comma double b. When calling the add method, the compiler determines which version to execute based on the arguments provided. This allows for flexibility in using the add method with different data types. As we can look into the example picture mentioned in the previous picture, overloading constructors. Constructors can also be overloaded in a similar manner to methods. Different constructors within the same class can accept different combinations of parameters. Overloading constructors provides flexibility in creating objects with varying initial states. As we can look into the example in the picture present over here, we have declared public class 1 is the class name, string name, int age, public class 1 string n, name is equals to n, closing the parenthesis, public class 1, open the bracket string n comma int a, open the parenthesis, this of n, age is equals to a, close the parenthesis. Overloading versus overriding. Overloading involves multiple methods within the same class with the same name but different parameters. Two or more bodies and two or more method bodies is included in overloading. Classes that methods appear in do not have to be in parent or child relationship. Signatures but not match in overloading. Methods are separate in overloading, resolved at compile time. When it comes to overriding, overriding occurs in inheritance when a subclass provides a specific implementation for a method defined in its superclass. Two or more method bodies are included in overriding. Classes that methods appear in must be in parent or child relationship. Signatures must match in overriding. Methods sometimes are combined in overriding. Overriding is resolved at runtime. Best practices for overloading methods. Overloading methods in Java with vastly different functionalities to prevent confusion. It avoids using meaningful parameter names and clear methods documentation to enhance readability. Overloading should be judiciously to maintain code clarity and simplicity. The methods are called overloaded methods where Java here it is defined two or more methods within the same class that share the same name as long as their parameter declarations are different. The process is called method overloading. When an overloaded method is invoked, Java uses the type and or number of arguments to determine which version of the overloaded method to actually call. Overloading with varargs. Vararg stands for variable length arguments. Allow methods to accept a variable number of arguments of the same type. Methods with variable length arguments can be overloaded by combining them with methods of different parameter types. Variable length arguments provides flexibility in method invocation by allowing a variable number of arguments. Overloading and method signature. Overloading and method signature includes the method name and parameter list. The method signature only includes the method name and the parameter list, wherein overloaded methods must have a unique method signature which is determined by the number and types of parameters. Changing the return type or access modifier does not differentiate overloaded methods, as we can look into the simple example of method signature. Conclusion. Method overloading is a powerful feature in programming that enhances code flexibility and readability by allowing multiple methods with the same name but different parameters. Overloading simplifies code maintenance and promotes reusability. Understanding the rules, benefits, and best practices of overloading methods is essential for writing efficient and maintainable code. So as we can look into the example over here, same method name but different parameters are used over here. As we can see in the first declaration of class cat, public void sound, and in the second overloading method we can see public void sound of int num. This is nothing but this is overloading process where same name method but different parameters are used here. So this is the conclusion. By concluding this session, thank you. I request all of you to like my YouTube channel.